Hello everyone and welcome to the next episode of the JavaScript tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking about object properties in JavaScript. So yeah, let's get right into it. First of all, I'm going to remove all the previous code, and I am gonna make a comment. Object properties in JavaScript. There we go. Okay, so let's create an object. Const person equals first name is going to be Homer. No, not HTML forms controls collection, but Homer. Yeah, there we go. Last name is going to be Simpson, age 43, I guess, or 37, something like that, and is employed, true. Okay, this is the last value of this object, so we don't have to add a comma, but if you do, it doesn't matter, alright? So you can add this at the last value or not. It's up to you. Okay. I'm also going to show an h1 heading over here and object properties. There we go. So here we have an object with some properties. Property value pairs. So there are a total of 3 different ways of accessing a property. So the first one, accessing a property with a dot. Alright, then we can access it with straight brackets, and then also straight brackets and 2 quotes work as well. So these are the 3 different ways. I'm gonna give you some examples. Let's use the person, Homer Simpson, etc. Then let's get the first paragraph, this one. The ID is example. So document.get element by ID example dot text content equals, and this is gonna be equal to a template literal name colon and placeholder person dot first name. And also let's set a reference const text. Alright, I'm going to cut this and then text and this and semicolon. Let's take the inner HTML. For some reason it's not updating. There shouldn't be anything wrong, but I can take this up here. This is weird. Really weird. We have the correct file, but yeah, weird. This should work. Let's say let. No, const. Oh my god, I made the same mistake the 3rd time. Or actually probably the 4th. these are going to be strings. There we go. So, note, if you are adding strings, you have to use quotes. I always forget that. So in this case, Homer is a variable. We can say let Homer equals Homer. And then I'm gonna actually try this out. I'm gonna put it inside of the object. Alright, it's not gonna work inside of the object. I mean, at least not inside of the object. But what if we declare a variable in here? Let Homer's name equals Homer. And once again, string. Alright. And this time person dot first name. Can we say person dot Homer? No? Anyways, I'm gonna use the first name and I'm gonna get rid of this line. Oh, yeah. The problem was that I had the wrong variable here once again. So we can do this. Let Homer's equal Homer in a string. And then we are going to name this Homer's like that. So name will be Homer. Alright. So in order to use a variable in here, it has to be declared somewhere. But I'm not gonna do that now. So instead I will just say Homer inside of here. Alright, so we got the person's first name right over here. We are accessing it with a dot. So that's the first way to access an object property. Then we have the straight brackets. So we can change the inner HTML to equal the object's name and then the value. Let's say I'm gonna take the last name this time. Last name. And let's say a string plus last name colon. Now I'm wondering why this is not working. This should work. Let's add the quotes. Well, at least then it does. So this is this way of accessing the object property. Alright, and there's one more step I have to do in order to access the object properties with this. So, after the object, I gotta declare some variables. For example, let name equals, in quotes, this one, the property. So, first name. Also, I'm gonna remove the text. Then we gotta say let second name equals last name, and pay attention to the capitalization. Alright, then we are going to change the inner HTML equal to the person or the name of the property, and then square brackets, and we will say last name, and then plus, and then Let's say, for example, is a rare last name. And instead of accessing the last name, we are going to access this one, so the name. So here we go. So Homer is a rare last name. I'm gonna add a space over here. Actually, plus, and I'm gonna add a space like this. There we go. Homer is a rare last name. By the way, this should be the ND name. So there we go. Simpson is a rare last name. So yeah, that is another way to access the property. So there's the dot notation, square brackets where we declare an additional variable, and then square brackets with some quotes. So yeah, they are the three ways to access the values inside of objects. I mean the properties and values. So yeah. Then we can also add new properties into a object. So let's take the object. Also, I'm gonna change this into, let's say, first colon. I'm gonna make a template literal. So the first value will be first name, then a break tag, and second will be last name, break tag, third will be the age, and I'm forgetting the person dot. There we go. Person dot last name and person dot age. And then fourth person dot is employed. So yeah. There we got these, all the values right now, and I forgot the break tag. There we go. So by the way, you can write some HTML inside of JavaScript by using the template literal with backticks. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna add another property onto this one. So I'm gonna say fifth, and let's say person dot new property, and let's add a break tag. Right now it says undefined. It's true, it doesn't exist inside of here. We can either make it exist inside of this object, or we can create it outside of this. So let's take the object's name, then we are going to name the property. For example, how many children? So how many children does Homer Simpson have? And let's make this equal to 3. So there is Bart, Lisa, and then there is the baby. So yeah, now we have added this inside of this object. So yeah, we can also access that now. So, oh yeah, but I was supposed to name this into new property, but we'll change this. So person.howmanychildren now returns the value 3. So this is the way how you can add different values. We can also use this way. So that would also work. So the square brackets and the quotes, the value is still 3. What if I change this it's gonna update with it. So yeah, alright. So yeah, that's how to add a property into an object. Alright, then I'm gonna show you one more way. So, let's create a variable once again. So we're gonna use this way. So let x equals how many children, and we will put this in quotes. There we go, and semicolon at the end. Then we can access it inside of the template literal. We are still going to need a placeholder, dollar and curly brackets, and then we can say person, and then use the straight brackets and x. The value of x is 3. So yeah, we can access these properties, the added properties, with these 3 different ways as well. So yeah, that is another good thing to keep in mind. So yeah, but in my opinion the best way is to use the dot. So yeah, you first declare the object, and then the property, then the value, and then we gotta just access the value with the name of the property. So yeah, and the of course the object class is also required. So yeah, here we go. Now this is what we got. Now you may have already guessed this, but we can also delete properties. So let's go ahead and type in delete person dot, let's say is employed. Alright, so right now the fourth is the person that is employed, and the fourth value will be undefined right now. And also with the delete keyword you can use all the different ways of inputting and accessing the property values. So you can use straight brackets with quotes and dots. So yeah, they also work with the delete keyword. Something to keep in mind when using the delete keyword is that it deletes both the value of the property and the property itself. So the property cannot be used after it is added back again. So the property would not even be something like this: example colon empty or nothing. Yeah, so yeah, the entire property value pair is going to be deleted. So yeah, it will not just delete the value, but it will delete the entire property value pair. So yeah, I just wanted to say this in case somebody was thinking that they can change, for example, this property from true to false with the delete property or keyword, but unfortunately that is not possible. Alright, next up I am going to talk about nested objects, and I already did a little bit in one of the previous episodes, but we are gonna talk more about them. So yeah, let's create a new object. Actually, we can say, for example, cars colon equal or we can say colon and then this, or we can use an equal sign. And we need to add a comma. Actually, no. Yeah, we can just put in a colon and then let's say car one Simpsons will be, what is the car of Homer's? Well, let's pretend that it is a BMW. And car 2 Simpsons, let's say that's a Toyota. And comma, and there we go. So, when we want to access these elements, we can go ahead and I'm gonna remove these, but I'm gonna use a template literal though. So person dot cars dot car 1 Simpsons, and I forgot to add the placeholder, so there we go. Now it's going to take this value out from the object. So yeah, we are going to access person, then cars, and car 1 Simpsons. So yeah, the cars is going to be yet another object right over here. So this is called a nested object. Object inside of an object. So yeah, that's basically what it means. Then we can also use this method. So create a variable, assign the variable to be equal to the value of the property and access it like this. So straight brackets and for example x if the variable is x. Alright, and yeah, then we have this one. So yeah, I think that this way of accessing the properties is probably the most difficult one, because you gotta create extra variables to store that. We could use it on this one as well, but I have already shown that, so I'm gonna be showing this one instead. So we can add some straight brackets around this one. Actually, let's add them around this. So car 1 Simpsons, and then also quotes. And then I'm going to actually, so yeah, we are not going to need these other values for this. Wait, something is not working out right now. Okay, if I'm not completely mistaken, we have to add the person dot cars. But this is not working like this, so let's say that we are going to be using the other way. So in that case, Well, I wouldn't use that. I would go with the dot notation because that is the easiest way. Alright, and remember to add it inside of a placeholder. So yeah, you can of course create a variable to car1 Simpsons and then access it with the square brackets, but it's not worth the trouble in my opinion. There's a few different situations where you might actually need that, but usually you will not need that. Alright, then I'm gonna go ahead and let's say that we want to add a... no, not add. What am I talking about? Let's add a third nested object. So the BMW, or after the Toyota, we'll say BMW safety and create a new object. Airbags, for example 4. And well, I'm just gonna copy this line because that's being given to me. Alright, so now we can access even more properties. So we have this one big property, one smaller property, and by the way, it's only this big, or basically this big, because the BMW safety is a part of the cars. I wanna try if I can access it like this. No, I can't. So we gotta also put the object name. So yeah, I'm gonna now access the BMW safety and the safety features. So object's name is person, then cars, that's a property, and then we will access the car 1 Simpsons, then BMW safety and safety features. Alright, and okay, that one is actually not showing up right now. I'm wondering if there actually is a limit on this bit, but I think there's not. Let's try. Alright, no, that's not gonna work. Car 1 Simpsons BMW safety features. Alright, okay, previously I made one mistake over here, so we gotta access the cars, and we don't have to access the car 1 Simpsons. We gotta go straight away to the BMW safety, and then to the safety features. So now we are accessing an object inside of an object that is inside of an object. So yeah, this is the way to do that. So first the main object, then this is a child object, grandchild, and this is the property, and it will show the value. Alright, that's gonna be this episode of JavaScript. I hope you learned something new from object properties and accessing them with different ways, creating them and deleting them as well, and so on. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Sorry if I was a little bit slow because I'm kind of tired right now, but anyways, I hope I'm going to see you in the next episode. And yeah, Have a wonderful day, everybody, and bye bye.